This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll. You know, it helps to kind of turn on the camera there. All right, before I do anything else, I want to make sure that everybody is hearing everything and all that good stuff, that you are getting the audio and we're all good. So I want to make sure that you are all doing it, because this is actually really a lot of fun what we witnessed today. I got to tell you, and I got to congratulate Mario and his staff. This was a beautiful way of smacking that fake ass Miami of Ohio in the ass and sending them home. So it was now listen, I don't want to get crazy here. I'm not trying to tell you that the Canes are going to the national title or anything like that. But you know what was beautiful about today? This wasn't a game filled with a whole bunch of mistakes. This wasn't a game filled with offenses that made no sense, square pegs and round holes, defenses that just weren't getting it done. All of a sudden now you saw some structure. You saw them winning at the offensive and defensive lines. You saw guys making all kinds of plays, which was just a beautiful thing. I was just really happy for Mario and his staff because you're supposed to beat Miami of Ohio. You have better talent than them. So you're supposed to beat them just flat on talent. But I wanted to see more than you just get by because you're more talented. The defense dominated the game, the entire game. And I thought that that was absolutely freaking awesome that that happened right there. Dominating that the entire 38-3. You thoroughly embarrassed their ass. You ran the ball for 240. Let me see. Let me make sure. I think it's 242, but let me refresh here to make sure. 250 yards, 36 carries, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Henry Parrish had 90 yards on 9 rushes and a touchdown. Mark Fletcher looked really good, 9 for 76. A.J. Allen, 9 for 47. Don Chaney, Lon would be happy. 8 for 38, scored a touchdown. So you had a plethora of backs. Emory Williams got in, played a little bit, went 3 of 3 for 42 yards. It was just a lot of fun to watch, man. Throughout the game, it absolutely perfect to a T? No, but damn it, dude. This was so much better than last year. Last year was the last couple of years embarrassing, and you're going to need to play this kind of football. There were a couple moments, Tyler Van Dyke, throwing the interception. There were a couple penalties, but there was the unsportsmanlike conduct. Is it perfect? No, man, it's not perfect. But compared to last couple years, and especially last year and Mario's first year, really just forget about couple years. We only can go to back 1 year because this is Mario's team. This is his era. And tonight he and his staff had to start off like, hey, we know what we're doing, because there was a lot of people that I've been trying to talk off the ledge, or I'm in discussions or arguments with them because they don't believe in Mario. They think they wasted the money. And I'm the guy that's saying, like, yo, man, they inherited crap and they got to start from the bottom in the foundation, and they got to teach kids how to win, and they've got to wash everything out. They brought in like 40 something guys. It's the same thing that Deion Sanders did in Colorado. You have to do that. You have to flush it out. You have to get everything in new, and you have to teach people, and you have to also recruit better. And now you're watching that they've got better recruits out there, better players out there on defense, on offense. The Maui Noah brothers on one side and the other, they're making plays. So it was a lot of fun today watching this game throughout and just seeing, players actually excel. To me, that was the fun part. It starts off on the kickoff return with Brashard Smith going for 44 yards. The offensive line was getting a push. Colby Young takes that screen to the house for 44 yards. Harvey gets the big sack on third down. Colby Young with the tough catch in the middle of the field, breaking the tackles to take it down to the 20-yard line on the third offensive drive for Miami of Ohio. They come out, they stifle them. The defense keeps shutting them out. Van Dyke throws the bad interception, but then Wesley Basaint answers back with a huge sack on third down, and the defense just dominates that entire half. Allen has the huge run on 3rd and 22. He gets Miami all the way to the 46-yard line. Then Fletcher goes for 19 yards on the ground, kid from American Heritage. And so you got the 16-3 halftime lead. You're saying, okay, solid half. They left some points on the field, which Mario talked about, which is true. They left some points on the field. It's true. But again, it wasn't a perfect outing. But compared to the crap that we watched last year, this was structured football. I saw more discipline on the field than I ever saw the entire year last year. And Miami of Ohio is not this great team or anything. They're a decent MAC team. I get all of that stuff. But I was looking at Miami. I didn't care about the fake Miami of Ohio. I wasn't worried about another Gabbert or anything like that. And, he made a couple passes, big deal. But I wasn't worried about that. I was looking at this team. I wanted to see improvement from within. I wanted to see discipline and structure. And I wanted to see an offensive coordinator that he knows what the hell he's doing. In the second half, the defense opens up by continuing to shut them down. Then they open up their first drive. Mark Fletcher goes for the big TD. They go on a 5-play, 65-yard drive. And then they add the Restrepo two-pointer, which makes it 24-3. And then on fourth down, Corey Couch gets that big hit on Miles Marshall, and he stops Miami of Ohio. The kid fumbles. And what I loved about that play, if you notice, there was a second down all-out blitz. And then on the third down, there was a zone play after that. And then you have the big hit, on fourth down by Couch. Again, coaches that know what the hell they're doing and how to mix things up. I really like that a lot. Van Dyke hits Colby Young for the big gain. Mario punting, taking the 5 yards, getting back, punting, putting them at their 10. I know Miami committed a penalty and put it at the 19 and all that, but in the end, they still ended up stopping them. So good coaching, too, by Mario. I mean, man, I was just really, 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 really happy with what I saw today overall, because this is what you can build on. This is the kind of stuff that you look at as a Canes fan and you say, all right, this is a nice building block here. Now I got some structured football. I got some discipline. The kids are playing well. They look like they improved. The talent looks like it's also better too. So, and remember, they're also holding back. They took a couple of shots. By the way, the pass from Van Dyke to Restrepo right over the guy's shoulder. That was a beautiful pass by Van Dyke. Nice job by Restrepo hanging on to the ball in that one. Obviously, Henry Parrish breaking to the outside, and he cut inside and he breaks that guy's ankles, and then he takes it back out to the outside for the touchdown. That was freaking awesome. I mean, there was just a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that I liked, a lot of stuff that we should be super happy about. This is the way you want to start off the season. You dominated their ass. You kicked their ass by 35 points, 35-3. You bitch slapped them like you were supposed to bitch slap them, and you actually played a pretty clean game overall compared to the stuff that you did last year. I am incredibly happy with this start for the Miami Hurricanes, and I'm more happy for Mario Cristobal because he needs to start piling these kind of things together, because I'm tired of defending Mario Cristobal. I'm tired of talking about being patient, because Canes fans have been dealing with crap for 20 years and they don't have patience. And it's really hard to tell people to be patient when they are dealing with all this crap. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those deals where just kind of odd. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of odd. I just wish that people would have a little bit more patience and give Mario a chance. But it's just like, it's just one of those things where people just, they just can't do it. Man of 1,005 holds, thank you for the love on the super chat. I appreciate you, sir. It says, good to see the Canes having an identity to run. With Mario, that was coming, right? With Mario, that was coming. They were going to run the ball, okay? I just put up the Big O radio show one because we're on both radio show and live. So I appreciate those of you on live because we need the viewing hours. Remember, folks, please subscribe to Big O Radio Show Live. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're like 30 away or 25 away or something like that. Please subscribe to Big O Radio Show Live because our daily show is there. The crypto show is going to be there. We're going to start the crypto show next week, by the way. And then the wrestling show is there. So, and we need to monetize that channel. And obviously, Sean and myself make a living from this. So please help us. Please subscribe to Big O Radio Show Live. Those of you that are on Big O Radio Show, thank you. Hit the like button. Hit the hell out of the like button. Those of you that are on Big O Radio Show Live, hit the hell out of the like button and subscribe over to Big O Radio Show Live. Por favor. All right. Chef Jew says, what's good, Big O and everybody? How y'all doing tonight? We are doing beautiful because we saw the Miami Hurricanes play a clean game, bro. At Big O Radio Show Live, Jose Banos, they look solid today. The real test will be next week against Texas A&M, but this is a good start. You are right, the real test. But at least we've seen them play crappy teams and what? Lose or look super crappy in the win, right? So we can complain about stuff like that. Today's a good day. Today's a really good day to be a Miami Hurricane because this is the kind of stuff that when you start to stack them, you start to say, all right, look out, world. These guys are turning it around. And let me tell you something also, because we've got this whole super conference stuff going on with the SEC and the Big Ten. And I know that the ACC added, Stanford and Cal and SMU and whatever, but I'm old enough to remember when the Canes weren't part of a conference and when they were an independent and they got so good that they were kicking everybody's ass that nobody wanted to play them because then that way they would screw because then they couldn't really climb in the rankings if you're not going to play. And it forced them to join conferences from the Big East to the ACC, okay? But the common denominator, if you want to have success, is just go out and kick ass. And if you're in this conference in the ACC, even if it's the third conference in football behind the Big Two, okay, even if it is, or fourth, whatever, you're still going to get a seat at the dinner table in the playoffs. So you take care of business if you're the University of Miami. If you're Mario Cristobal, okay, you just take care of business. You beat teams and you'll be in the playoffs, and then you go out and kick people's asses in the SEC and in the Big Ten, and the rest is history. You don't have to worry. It'll suck that maybe you're not making nearly as much money as in those two conferences, but the winning overall will start to create more revenue for you as a school. So you know that, I know that, they know that. So get back to winning so you'll fill the hell out of that stadium and you'll be able to sell a lot of things, and then you can, up the ticket prices for those suites and get more money from the people with a lot of cash. By the way, you can make a donation to Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Or, of course, if you're watching at Big O Radio Show, you can make a super chat. Big O Radio Show Live. What do we got here? Chad says, we'll take this win. It'll definitely look better to start the year. No doubt. Carlos says the tackling was supremely better than anything I've seen in 5 years or more. I agree. Here at Big O Radio Show, we've got we'll go with the show and live. Show live. How about that? That's what we'll do. Instead, I don't have to say the whole bullshit. It looked very different, says Hurricane 24, from that standpoint that no one on both the offense or defense, where they had the ball, stood still. Everybody was moving to the whistle. I agree, man. Hurricane 24, it was just, I was proud to watch it, dude. That believe it or not, that's how I felt watching the Hurricanes tonight. I felt proud that Mario Cristobal's impression, his identity was being felt. You ran 250 yards. That's what the big offensive lineman wants to see. That's what Mario Cristobal wants to see. Maui Noah, right? And company. He wants Hill, all those guys. Those guys played well, man. They did a good job overall. Do they need to improve? Hell yeah. Do they need to get better? Yeah, of course. They're not ready to take on Clemson and all that kind of stuff. But this was a really nice start, dude. And this shows that what Mario and the rest of the coaches are teaching, it's working. So now next week they raise the ante. The good thing is they had this game to get a tune-up job, and like, all right, what we can tweak, and then guys can this is very important. These young men had success, and what was coached was executed. What was executed led to a victory. When you have that cycle, okay, now recruits are looking at this. Now you see other head coaches in high schools all over that these coaches are talking to their players. They're looking at this, right? All of this is super important. There's a cycle because it's a vicious cycle. If you can't recruit, you can't coach, you can't win, you look incompetent, then you can't sell anything. You can't sell hope. And the only way you sell hope to recruit is you say, you come here, I'm going to make you a better football player, and I'm going to do my best job to set you up to go possibly to the NFL. If not, you're going to get a degree here. You'll make some money in NIL. You'll have some other options to try to grow yourself, your brand, all that kind of stuff. Because that's how it's sold, right? It's sold through NIL. It's sold through, if you really want to take your academics serious, and of course you want to go to the NFL. So all of this is part of selling. And so now you've got more recruits. You saw the list during the game. They showed how many top 300 recruits Miami has, and they've got a nice chunk of them right now. And this is only the beginning for Mario Cristobal. But you will not build on this if you don't win. And not only do you win, but you look incredibly competent at winning. And I just really, man, I was really, really happy with what I watched tonight. Really, really happy. I cannot complain. Is Manny Navarro? No, I'm not actually. I didn't call Manny. I didn't even know if I was going to do this or not, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I work a lot throughout the week. I wasn't sure if I said, and I didn't know how many people were going to tune in and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't sure. So maybe next time maybe we'll do it for Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? I could kind of wait for Manny on Tuesday and we'll get some other news. There's not really a lot to break down here after you beat Miami of Ohio. I'm telling you, this wasn't about Miami of Ohio. Tonight was about Mario Cristobal and his staff showing the world and the Canes nation, hey, ladies and gentlemen, calm down. We got this. We're headed in the right direction. Just got to give us some time to turn this around. We got to get the right people in here. We got to get the kids with the right attitude, which, by the way, when you see the Cam Kitchens of the world and all these cats, you start seeing it and you're going, whoa, Bubba, we got some players here. So you're starting to see that, you know what I'm saying? And watching that offensive line get some push, I was really proud of that. Van Dyke made some nice passes. Some of the offensive weapons really showed up today. Some of the defensive players were absolutely fantastic. Big-time sacks, big-time pressures. There was a lot of stuff to really like tonight, man. I got to tell you. Let's see. Definitely noticed TVD's finger affecting his throws. I mean, overall, he did a good job. That throw he threw to Restrepo over that guy, well, the finger didn't affect anything in there, bro. That was a hell of a throw. Got to give him some credit. Big O, this was a huge step today. First play of the kickoff return. This was a different team, says Ricardo Jimenez. Great to see Jason Taylor. Yeah. Great to see Jason Taylor always, man. It's fantastic. William Quigley in the house. Winning will bring recruits big time. And winning this way in a dominant fashion, clean, smart football overall. I thought it was terrific. Papa is saying O-line looks amazing. They did a good job overall, man. They did a damn good job overall. Really proud of them, man. Really proud overall of what I saw from the Canes. And again, this is the way. if tonight you have a shaky win, doubts creep in again. Because it's like, well, wait a minute. When are we going to get past this thing that we have to struggle against, competition you're not supposed to? I don't want to kill fake Miami of Ohio too much, okay? You know what I'm saying? Fake Miami of Ohio came in the era of fake news. We had fake Miami of Ohio wanting to claim that they're the real Miami. I mean, yeah. You got any titles there, buddy? Any national titles there? So, you know what I'm saying? And it's a Gabbert. I mean, adding insult to injury, the name Gabbert really doesn't ring synonymous with championships. You know what I'm saying? So, so this was about the Canes, and they passed the test tonight with flying colors. This is what I want to see. And I know that this is what Mario wanted to see when he saw the big hogs up front dominating, because that's who he is. And he knows that that's the only way you're going to win. And by the way, let me also say something. They stayed aggressive. Even when they were leading, they still, even when they brought in Emery, they stayed aggressive. And I like that too, also from Mario, because let's have a give and take. Let's talk a little bit. Sometimes with Mario, at times, even when he was at Oregon, I would notice that he had a conservative streak in him. Now, last year, if you're conservative when your team is so crappy and unorganized, and you're even your coaching staff is not in sync, I can see where you take the conservative route, because taking chances with people who are unprepared is dangerous, right? Here, you're in a much better place. Now people are more organized. Everybody knows their role. Everybody's playing hard. So now you can take some chances if you want. And if you want to go for a fourth down, if you want to go for a 2-point conversion, if you want to stay aggressive, that's the only way you're going to win in this game, And plus, this is the way you put your players at a test late in the game. And you put Emery right away, you put him in a test, which I thought that was actually pretty cool, because, okay, now you're watching that kid come off. And remember, Manny Navarro told you that it would be Emery would be coming off, not Jakari, and sure enough, he was right. Emery came out, and Emery was the best passer, throughout, even though you don't get to see a ton, but from what little people have seen, then, it's one of those deals where we want to make sure we take care of the football, but we want to make sure we also stay aggressive, because in this game, you're going to have to score a lot of points, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Leon Fresco says we will be good enough to beat a quality team like Temple. That's right, Mono. A birthday gift for JT and ZT. That's right. Zach Thomas is celebrating a birthday. Great point. I love that they didn't take the foot off the pedal. Yeah, no, there was so many things that when I'm watching this game, I was just so proud of Mario, man. I was really proud of Mario, because nobody likes to put in work in anything you do. I don't care what it is you do. You need to see results. And if you don't see the results, then it's one of those things that is kind of disappointing. You know what I'm saying? And he's put in a lot of work. He's a tireless worker, tireless recruiter. This thing needs to pay off for him. Big athletic line dominator. That's right, William. Tom Stocko says, love the play of the center from UCF. Pulled on a few plays, yes. Again, the line was terrific. Middle Tennessee is finally in the rearview mirror. Exactly, Tom. Exactly. Those are the things that live in my mind, and they are nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Losing to FIU. It's just crap that's gone on over the years that you and I know that if you're the University of Miami football team, you're not supposed to struggle against these kind of opponents. These opponents are here to collect an effing check. Okay? It's a check and an ass kicking. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay. Those of us that remember what used to happen, 20 years ago and 30 years ago and 40 years ago. Okay. Although 40 years ago, I don't think they were coming for a check. They were just getting an ass kicking in those days. Okay. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, here's your check and here's my foot in your ass. And go have fun. Go home with your 41.3 and take your $700,000. But here's 41.3 in your ass. And that's where they're supposed to leave all like, bent out of shape and pissed off and all that. They're supposed to be pissed off that Randall Hill is in the end zone with the 6-shooter. Okay? That's what they're supposed to be. And you got to get back to that. Because when you get back to that, that means your team is at the level that you can start to compete with the Clemsons. And you can start to compete with the FSUs and start to beat these teams. So you can now start to get into the playoffs on a consistent basis. So you can start to showcase yourself against the Georgias and the Alabamas of the world and the Ohio States and get back to where you belong. And I know they're far away from that right now. I am not getting ahead of myself from winning this game, but this is the first building block you need in order to get to that spot. Okay? We have to see this kind of performance and even better at times against these kind of teams. Enough of them coming in here and even thinking they're in the damn game by halftime. Right? Because you and I know, as Canes fans, over the last few years, we are sick and tired of what. Are they really leading FAMU 6-3 at halftime? That's the kind of shit that you're sitting there looking at your friend going, what the hell is that going on out there? You can't have that. And while the halftime score wasn't so dominant, they were still in control the entire time. And then they came out and kind of finished it off. And I like that overall. But it was just, I just want to remind you of, and I don't think I have to, of everything that's gone on. And so that's why this win was so important, because you need to show people that you can take care of these kind of teams the way you're supposed to. And 38-3 is the kind of ass kicking that you're supposed to produce against teams like this. What else? Don't know what I'm looking forward to more. Miami and the Chargers, University of Miami, A&M, regardless, good times because we have contenders. Well, I'm not going to go as a contender in anything. I am looking forward to that game because it's a nice test, but I think the Dolphins have a great chance of having a phenomenal season. I don't want to get into Dolphins talk now. This is time to talk Canes. They're the ones that deserve the love today. Oh, by the way, you know what the Canes deserve, baby. We got to give them, right? We got to light it up. You got to come on, man. We got to give them a victory. Hails to the yeah. And let me give you some stats. How about that? Let me do that. Let me go over what happened today. First of all, let's talk about the team stats because I think that's actually something really important. I told you, you're playing an inferior opponent, right? Well, if you're playing an inferior opponent, do what you're supposed to do. 26-9 in first downs. Third down efficiency, there were 2 of 12. Miami was 3 of 7. Total yards, they had 215. Fake Miami of Ohio. Miami had 493. Okay. Passing yards, they had 164. Miami had 243. Yards per pass, 6.8 to 9.7. Rushing yards, they had 51. Miami 250. Penalties, Miami had 8 for 60. They had 5 for 49. Not a, you know what? Take away the unsportsmanlike conduct, and I'm good. Then it's 7 for 45, and we're good. You know what I'm saying? But that unsportsmanlike conduct, that might be the one that I would probably say that's the one penalty that kind of puts it in the in the gray area, let's just say. Okay. Turnovers, Miami did have one, which was Van Dyke. Time of possession, 32:53 to 27:07. And the good thing is there were no fumbles lost by Miami. Individual stats, well, Tyler Van Dyke had a very good game overall, 17 of 22, 201, a touchdown, an interception. Emory Williams came in, went 3 of 3, 42 yards. Henry Parrish, 9 for 90 and a touchdown, had a 37-yard run. Mark Fletcher was 9 of 76 for a touchdown, had the 26-yard run. A.J. Allen, 9 of 47, had a 16-yard run. Don Chaney, 8 for 38 with a touchdown, including the 20-yard run. Colby Young, showing that he can be a big-time playmaker, 4 for 79 for a touchdown, including the 44-yarder. Xavier Restrepo was solid as always, 5 for 68. Jacoby George was another guy showing up, 6 for 56. Riley Williams had 1 for 18, and Tyler Harrell had 1 for 14. On defense, Mauigoa or Mauanoa, right? Mauanoa had 5 tackles overall, 2 solo. Corey Couch was terrific, 4 tackles, 2 solo, a big-time hit. Jaden Davis also showed up. Cameron Kitchens was fantastic. KJ Cloyd had a nice game, dude. He had a tackle for loss there also in that game. Jafari Hari came up with a sack in that game. Besaint was a big-time sack. It was on a 3rd down. What else there? I mean, there were some guys that really showed up overall, and that was actually pretty cool to watch the Canes today. It was just a lot of fun, man. It's just competence, you know? That's all you want to see. You want to see competence, and that's exactly what we saw from Mario and his staff. That was a lot of fun. Steven Gonzalez says, even though I start work at 2 a.m., still listening to you, brother. It was okay, team. On to the next one. Exactly. How stupid does the QB look after the shit he was talking? Yeah. Well, see, because of what's happened lately, there's no respect for the University of Miami. The University of Miami right now is just a logo and a history, right? There's a crap ton of kids now over the last 15, 20 years that all they do is hear us old farts talk about how it used to be. And so it's been 20 years of what it used to be. 20 years. That's a long time to go. People forget. And that's where it really affects you. And so now we have a whole generation of kids that it just sounds like some old story that they cannot relate to because they only see Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and so on and so forth. And so that's the part that gets like, it makes us all sound like, oh yeah, that's passe, this, that. And this is why you have these reactions. So until you go back to stomping on these freaking teams like you used to, so they're like, hey man, I am not rattling the cage. I'm not gonna talk crap. And even coaches will say, hey guys, we're playing Miami this week. Shut the hell up. Let's try our best. That's a hell of a football team. But nobody says that about Miami right now. They don't say they're a hell of a program. They don't say they're a hell of a football team. They don't say they have a great coaching staff. They don't say anything like that because nobody remembers them having any of that for 20 freaking years. So it's a bunch of, 40, 50, 60-year-old men that are 70-year-old men that are telling you about 2000 and then the 90s and the 80s and all that. And then these kids are looking at you like, and back to TikTok. That's just kind of what it is. Think about it. Almost anybody under 30, like if you're 28, 29, you were like 6 or 7 when they won that championship. And you don't know shit. You don't know what it's like. You had no idea what it was like in the 80s and the 90s for real and right up to the early 2000s. You have No sense of it. So think about that. Men that are 25, 27, 29, they don't have any recollection. They've never experienced what great Canes football is year in and year out. Coaching changes, doesn't matter. Offensive coordinator moves on, doesn't matter. This big tackle moves on, next one steps in. This quarterback moves on, next one steps in. They have no idea what that was like. It all sounds like some fairy tale, some shit that's never happened, some shit that seems to be somewhere in the with mythology. It's like talking to them about Zeus and Neptune and starting talking about all kinds of mythology and Medusa and all that. And they're like, yeah, and the Canes football team, yeah, they used to play back in the days. Oh, you mean with the Roman gladiators, Dad? And that's the problem. So you've got the Miami of Ohio's, and now you sent a message to the Miami of Ohio's. Go ahead and talk shit. Go ahead and talk shit. Here's what's coming. Foot and ass. Foot and ass. So, Miami of Ohio, fake Miami of Ohio, has now walked out of South Florida with foot and ass. Now you've got to make sure that every one of those kind of teams gets the same kind or worse treatment from here on out. And you'll never hear them ever talk about that they'll diss Miami and this and that because you've gotten back to who you are. Respect is a big thing. Miami doesn't have it yet. They got to earn it, you know? And those of us that are old enough to remember what it used to be, that doesn't carry any kind of, there's no credentials right now. Put it that way. It has no clout. It has no credentials. It has no reality. It has no swag. It has nothing because they haven't built anything. So now it's up to Mario. Tonight was a nice little tiny first step, but a very professional first step. And very proud of Mario and his staff, dude. Very proud. That's all I can tell you. Let's see. The cigar is back. Always, baby. You gotta light a little Perdomo. I wish the unsportsmanlike penalty came by way of picking up and slamming Gabbard into the ground. Baines had a good, Bain looks like another guy. It's just now you see some dogs on the field. And now you're seeing the results. Andres Orozco, Kelly penetrating the line and playing the zone D. What a stud. There was a lot of things. Kitchens is a beast, says Jason Myers. He's so fun to watch, dude. He stuck that guy in the sidelines. That was awesome. Man of 1,005 Hold says, teams took the chains and used it against the U. Now it's time for the defense to show that they're more than some fancy chain. Exactly. Yeah, enough of that. I'm so glad about all that crap. I don't care about any of that stuff. Well, go out in the field and kick their ass. Play the game the way it's supposed to be played. That'll make me fun. That'll make me happy, not some stupid chain and look at me moment. Gonzo says, yep, that's me, 28. It's been a rough go. Canes and Dolphins. My earliest Canes memory is probably getting banned from bowl games. Yeah, there you go. That's that. Think about that. There are men nearly 30, and they have no idea what it's like to experience what the Canes used to be. And that's, and just like our Dolphin fans. My God, I feel so bad for our Dolphin fans. Our Dolphin fans and Canes fans are young ones. And by the way, I am so proud of the young Dolphins and Canes fans because a guy like this right here, Gonzo, he's never experienced any of this, and yet he's there. At least those of us that are old, we have those memories. So we have that hope that, hey, we could get back to being a great Dolphins franchise. Hey, we can get back to being a great Canes franchise like we used to be with this, and this. Young people have nothing to fall on. They don't have anything to tag hope with. How screwed up is that? So to me, as I've said many times on my show, my favorite fans are the really young fans, the ones that have never truly experienced the real success like I've been blessed to experience on all levels for the different teams in town because I've been around long enough because I'm old, but whatever. And to me, those are my favorite fans. The young fans are our best fans because they're the most loyal and they're the ones that you just wonder like, wow, man, that's impressive. You have the patience. You hang in there with your team. And they've given you nothing to say, stay with us. Because the Canes in the last 20 years and the Dolphins have told you, they've given you nothing to feel good about. It's pretty cool. It's pretty impressive for young fans. Chad says, I'm 35, so I got a little Canes. Finns have been pretty much 8-8 all my life. Oh, noes. That's why he's my friend, and he feels bad for me at 35. Exactly. I feel bad for a lot of young fans. It's not fair to you guys. Adrian says the defensive speed tonight and hopefully going forward is phenomenal. Yes, just everything, right? That was the cool part, that it was all there, all around. It just displayed the talent, everything else. It was cool. Folks, don't forget to follow our other. We need to get to let's see where we're at. Are we at 1,000 at Big O Radio Show Live? Let's see. Did we get to 1,000? Oh, we're at 980. We need 20 people. 20 people. There's 136 on this chat board. There's 50 at there's 136 on show, 50 on live. You're going to tell me 20 of you can't subscribe to Big O Radio Show Live right now for us and get us to 1,000 so we can monetize that channel and, make a little money for Sean and myself, so we can survive. So 20 people we need right now. Come on, man. I can't believe that all 183 people that are there right now, all of you have subscribed to Big O Radio Show Live. Come on. There has to be some of you out there that we got to get over 1,000 right now. Come on. Who's going to be number 1,000? I want to see what happens. Come on. Let's go. 980. So please subscribe to Big O Radio Show Live and watch. Watch hours are very important. Even if you walk away, let it play. Walk away, let it play. That's the slogan. Walk away, let it play. You're hanging around the house, whatever. Let the shows play. Let them play. Okay? Let them play. Walk away, let them play if you're not even watching. There you go. That's how you support us in a big time way. Visit our amazing sponsors, like, of course, Hialeah Park. Nothing wrong with that. What else do we have here? 53 Kings Drill says Baines was great. Yep, I agree with that. TVD, yep, the injury, but he still played well. Hope they put in new sod. That field looked embarrassing tonight. I didn't even notice it, actually. Wow. Oh, but you know what? It's been raining a lot. So maybe that's why the rain there was rain prior to it, I think. So maybe that's what it was. And that didn't help. That softened it up. And then these guys with the cleats tore it up or something. But I don't think that was necessarily a problem today. It didn't cause any injuries or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm good with that, dude. What else do we have here? And don't forget, folks, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. And those of you on live, make sure you hit that like button. I love it. You're pretty much all of you have hit that like button on live. I love it. And hit that like button here on show also at the same time. Do we have more subscribers here on Big O Radio Show Live? Let me see if I can refresh this thing. Be funny if there'd be none. Okay, 5. 5 came in, so now we're 15 away. 985. All right, I'm very appreciative of that. 5 of you that made the effort to sign over. Thank you. Thank you. 15 away. I love it. We played with swag in the second half. They did. They did big time. All right, folks. Appreciate it. As always, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting the channel, whether it's our daily show at 10 a.m. overall. Sean and Frankie doing the wrestling show every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We are bringing back this week the Crypto Bro Show. It'll all be at live. We're 15 away from 1,000, so we can monetize that thing. So please follow that channel, because that's where the daily live show will be. The Dolphins pre- and post-game show will be here at show. It'll always be at show, okay? That one. But the live show, the daily live show and all that stuff, that's going to be on the live channel over there because of algorithm purposes. I love you all out there. We will see you on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.